moment while I go live on Facebook. We'll be getting started right away. Here we go. I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I guess it's still 10:30 my time, 11:30 New York time. 1:30 New York time. Welcome to this weekend's edition of the Strategic Swing Trader. We're going to be going over the market, and then I'll go over the swing ideas for next week. I want to say also Happy New Year. I took some time off. I hope you did as well. And I wish you all the best in the new year. Let's get started. We're going to take a look at the market first. So we'll switch over to the chart of the SPY or the QQQ. Doesn't really matter. We can see that the Qs, the SPY, here's the Qs, which is the tracking ETF for the NASDAQ 100. Gap down on Friday and actually got bought most of the day. So that was kind of bullish. The issue here is I have not called a top since, I don't know, since October. I said when the market is grinding up, try not to. Sorry, here's the charts. I have a new setup. So here's the charts. Here's the chart of the SPY and the Qs. I was just gonna say that I have not called a top for a long. I have not attempted to call a top in the market for a long time because the market has been grinding up. Okay, but it really did start to accelerate. Notice how extended we got recently. And then, of course, we got some news about Iran, but I don't really care about that. What I care about is technical analysis, and what the chart is saying here is we could be forming a head and shoulders pattern. Now, this is not a typical head and shoulders pattern, but it is kind of a head and shoulders pattern. Here's the left shoulder, here's the right, here's the head, and then depending on whether we break down or not, this could be end up being the right shoulder. Okay, got it? So I think if we break under Friday's low, under 213.28 on the Qs, under 321 on the SPY, I think we could see a move down in the market next week. Okay, so that's my bias. I think Friday's low should hold. If it doesn't, then that should be the start of the pullback. If we look at Apple also, pretty extended, didn't go climactic, but pretty extended. Again, I try not to call the top in a long time because we've been grinding up. And I always say when we're grinding up, it makes no sense at all to try and call the top. But up here, that's not grinding up. That's kind of accelerating. So very far away from the 20. So we could easily, I can see the market pulling back next week if we at least take out Friday's low. All right. So with that said, I'm going to switch over and give you also an update on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is bottoming on the daily chart. It's not quite bottoming on the weekly, but that's the daily here. And you can see it's building a big rounding bottom. So I like Bitcoin higher. I took I think 1.5 coins long Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Let me just get this. Let me just see. I don't remember exactly. A couple days ago. It's been a few days actually since I got into Bitcoin. Oh, this is Ether. That's why it's not showing. So Bitcoin, I have I have 1.5 coins open. So here it is. Just have 1.5 coins in Bitcoin. I like it more as a swing than as a long-term trade. I don't know that Bitcoin bottomed yet, but on the daily chart, it looks good. I think it's worth a shot. For me personally, I took a position in it. And then I like also LTC even more, Litecoin. So that's not bad. That looks better than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is kind of the market for the cryptocurrencies, the cryptocurrency pairs. And so I like to initially start off by taking a position in Bitcoin. And from there, if I see other coins that I like, sure, I'll try and take advantage as well. For now, I'm in only Bitcoin, but Litecoin looks good. Ether looks okay. XRP I think is pretty bullish, but it's not a very pretty chart. Actually similar to the rest of them. BCH is the most bullish, but which is Bitcoin Cash, but it's not a pretty chart also. So I'd look for a pullback on Bitcoin Cash. But again, I think Bitcoin for now is worth a shot as a swing. I can't say that we bottomed yet. I haven't talked about Bitcoin in a long time. I can't say that Bitcoin bottomed with the declining 20 just above on the weekly and the monthly, but I am in it, as you saw. All right. With that said, let's take a look at the watch list for next week. Fitch shook me out. I was in it at the end of the year. Shook me out and is going higher. It looks really good. I like the FTCH higher. Okay. If you're in the strategic swing trader, you can log on to your account. I have 4 plays that I'm looking to take, 2 longs, 2 shorts for Monday. So you can log on to your account, T3 Live account right now, and get the plays. So I like Fitch higher. I like I higher. I'm already in it. I already tightened the trail on it to just Friday's low, because this is a little bit iffy, but if it doesn't trail and pops, then this looks good also to add to the position on I, okay? NLS it's got a nice daily, nicer maybe weekly on the NLS. Here's the weekly chart. That's really nice. I don't think it's ready yet, but beautiful weekly chart. So I'm going to keep an eye on it as a transition A on the weekly time frame, okay? On the NLS. NVAX is a 1, 2, 3 on the daily. Weekly similar to the NLS. I like the NLS more on the weekly, but I think NVAX is not bad as a 1, 2, 3 play on the daily chart as a swing. I will be talking about the 1, 2, 3 pattern on Tuesday at around 4:30, so be sure to tune in. I have a video I do these weekly videos on Tuesdays. I took a holiday last couple of weeks, but we'll be starting that up this coming Tuesday. So I'll be talking about this pattern in particular on Tuesday. NVRO is a daily breakout, little extended on the larger time frames, but it's also grinding up, so I still like it higher. NVRO. Party is a transition A little bit extended. Can play it as a breakout on the hourly chart. So if you look at the hourly chart here to the left, long right here, stop right here. Okay, not bad. Party. And then TORC is a transition. Perhaps this might be my favorite transition A from the on the list that I've just went over the base, stop under the base on the hourly chart. So over about 151, stop would be under 137 or so. And then last but not least is WBA, and the WBA I like it as a weekly buy setup. Don't like the monthly, don't love the daily either, but I like the weekly chart a lot as a long-term play. Let me show you the bearish list. Let's take a look at the bearish list. We have ATKR as a transition C. That's a transition C breakdown. So could do it as a 1, 2, 3 short right here. Stop right here on the ATKR. AXSM. I tell you the truth, this triggered already on Friday, but it's got a rounding top on the hourly chart and has another probably about $15 or so at least, minimum 15, maybe 20 to target. So it's still got a lot of room, so I like it lower. It triggered already on Friday, but I'd like to see if I can find a way in it on Monday, tomorrow. Con also triggered on Thursday as a breakdown, but has a 1, 2, 3 pattern. The 1, 2, 3 is when you have that igniting bar, and then resting bar, and then continuation bar. So there you go. Igniting, resting, and continuation. So like it lower for Monday. Con. Home looks good. Also breakdown plus a 1, 2, 3. That's a doji bar. So I do like the home lower. MOV is pretty thin. It's got a nice weekly sell setup, but this one also doesn't look very ready on the hourly chart. So I'm gonna pass on it unless it sets up perfectly on Monday, because it's really thin. I think it's done. Let's see how much it did on Friday. It only did like 200,000 shares. NBRV, I know it's a dollar stock, but who's to say it won't get to 50 cents, right? And that would be more than a 50% gain if it were to get to 50 cents. I like it lower as a breakdown on the daily chart. Not bad. NBRV. SPPI, another similar big gap down. This was a real gap. I was not trading the last week of the year because as I said, I took some time off, but it looks lower as a breakdown. UI is extremely wild. This is not my favorite really, but could be like the ATKR as a transition C short. See that ATKR? It's the same. I'm in the FTSX, FTXS or FTSX. I don't know what the same, FTSV I think, FTSV. Already got to target one, but it's the same idea as a transition C, in this case off the hourly chart as a breakdown. See it? So this one would be the same on the ATKR, but it would be off the daily as a short. And then the UI would be off the daily also as a short. Very wild, be careful. WVE is a base breakdown, looks good. $7 stock, but looks good lower. WVE short. And last but not least is the XPER. It really looks good on the hourly chart. Looks good on the daily and maybe better on the weekly. See that weekly chart? Looks really good on the weekly. The only issue that I see is the support on the daily chart below and the fact that it's a large stop. So as I said, I'm taking 2 longs and then 2 shorts. And then the rest of them I'll just watch. If you're a member of the Strategic Swing Trader, you can log on to your account right now and see which ones I will be playing tomorrow. So we talked about the market. We said the market possibly topped out. If we take out Friday's low, you could view this as a head and shoulders pattern. Becomes a minor head and shoulders pattern, and I will at that point I will like the market lower. Okay. We talked about Bitcoin, that Bitcoin likely bottomed on the daily chart, but it's still not an easy call in terms of the long-term pattern. But on the daily, looks okay, I think. This is Bitcoin Cash, but here's Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin, we said likely bottomed for now. So you could take a swing position if you like. And then we talked about some swing ideas. I said I'm taking 4 plays on, I'm planning to take 4 plays if they trigger on Monday. 2 longs, 2 shorts. And then in terms of bias for the market, bearish, but we need to take out Friday's low first. That wraps it up, I think, for today. I'll be doing another video on Tuesday after the close, so feel free to tune in. I was supposed to show you the disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only. I usually do that at the beginning of the video, but it doesn't matter. So whatever we talked about was for educational purposes only. Also, if you liked today's video and found benefit in it, please be sure to hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite plays are or what you're planning to take on Monday or next week, what your market outlook is. Feel free to interact. And if you have any questions, also be sure to reach out to customer service, just info@t3live.com, info@t3live.com. With that said, have a great rest of the weekend. I'm Sami Abusad, Director of Education at T3 Live. I will talk to you hopefully on Tuesday after the close. Take care, everybody.